Welcome to today's training. I am Barbara Carr with Fuse Empire, and today we are talking about challenges. Challenges are really fun, and some of you may have already participated in one of them without even realizing that you have. So first I want to start off with explaining what a challenge is. A challenge is a way that you can get people involved and engaged with your business, either on your page or in your group or elsewhere, but it's a way to get people involved and engaged. And when we get people involved and engaged, what is the purpose of running a challenge to do this? Well, you guys, the best reason why is for lead generation. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to use the challenge that we're about to do next week as an example here. I posted out on my personal page that says, hey, who wants to win who wants an extra $150? Details are in the comments, right? People are probably like, $150, yeah. And so in the comments, I wrote something along the lines of, hey, I'm hosting this challenge, and the only thing that you have to do to qualify for this $150 is participate all 5 days. So if you're interested, you need to join this group. So what happens is when they click to join the group, they're asked two questions. The first one is, what is your email address? And the second one is, who invited you? So asking for their email address allows me to put them on my email address, on my email marketing system. So you guys learned about email marketing on day like 5 or 6, something like that. But it allows me now to be able to communicate with them even after the challenge is over, right? So now, of course, you want to be mindful and not just be spammy and sending just random sales stuff to people just because you got their email address. You want to use it strategically. So the fact that I knew that people were looking for, they joined the challenge for a couple of reasons. Either A, they wanted $150, right? Who doesn't? Or B, they wanted to grow their business, because I also said when I mentioned it, it will also help you grow your business. Or C, they just wanted to support me, right? There's a couple different reasons why somebody would jump onto this. And knowing those reasons, I'm able to know what kind of things I might want to email them in the future, right? So, and then if you could really pinpoint which of those 3 reasons, or however many reasons, that each person individually signed on for, that's even better. That's called tagging them inside of your email marketing system, which you guys learned about way back when we did that in day 5 or 6. But the great thing here is we're capturing leads of people who have an interest in something that we're doing, which means if they're interested in this, they might be interested in another thing that I offer. And it allows me to send them things that I know that they are interested in. But what it also does is it allows me to be positioned as somebody who helps others, right? I'm giving $150 to somebody cash during a time of a pandemic. That seems pretty impressive, right? It could be to a complete stranger, I don't know. But it positions my business also as a place of, this company is still doing business even during all this. And not only are they doing business, but they're handing out money too. Hey, we could be like the government, just handing out money. But you don't have to always make your challenges have a big prize. It doesn't always have to have a cash prize, but it needs to be something of value that people will want to work for. Because when you challenge people, and remember your goal is to create engagement and interaction, people are only going to engage and interact if there is a prize that is worth them, they see valuable. So again, it doesn't have to be anything big and fancy, and it doesn't have to be cash, but it does have to be something of value to the person who's participating. So then the next question is, how do you run a contest? Well, you could do it a couple of different ways. You could do it online, like what we're doing. In fact, our whole 5-day challenge is Facebook Live. So you guys learned how to do Facebook Live. I think that was on day 4 of this 30 days. You guys will be doing 5 Facebook Lives. I have pre-chosen the topics that you will talk about on each video. And each video is only 2 to 3 minutes long, okay? Because I have to watch I want to watch all of them, but I'm also giving bonus points for really good videos. Okay, so that's just an extra thing. But so I will be watching all of the videos, and so I don't want them to be 10 minutes long. If I have even 10 videos that are 10 minutes long, that takes up a lot of time. But it also encourages other people to watch it if it's shorter. right? If everybody's just watching a bunch of 2-minute videos, they're likely to watch most of the videos that are posted in there and interact and say, hey, great job, John, or Rick, that was good to know, or Marie, can you tell me more about this, right? And so people will engage more if it's a shorter video, because also with shorter videos, you're also limited to how much you could tell, right? Kind of like on Twitter, you only get 280 characters, and it's like, well, how much, or 240 characters, but it's like, how much can you actually tell in that amount of characters, rather than if you were on Facebook and there's not really a limit on how many you can do. So this is another way to get people interacting even with you guys. And so you can run it online if you want. Challenges don't have to be run strictly online. Some of you are able to do challenges even without being online. Take Tim, for instance. He does running stuff, like he does groups of where people run marathons and stuff like that, and 5Ks, and he could do a challenge in there where like whoever wears the wackiest outfit during their run, or different things like that, and it would bring engagement. And I would think that Tim probably does that already. Rick, I can't hear you, you're muted. It would be you'd win.
I said that would be me, yeah.
I can imagine. And in fact, Tim has a Tim, I don't know how you're working on this, the Mother's Day run. I saw when I was doing your online presence analysis, I was going through and I saw this run, and the Mother's Day run, and I'm super excited about it. But of course, my first question is, will we be allowed to run in groups yet? How would that work if we can't?
No, we're doing a virtual run, but because the virtual run generally will have slower attendance, we're coupling it with an online contest, which is what we're talking about, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a challenge and a contest can definitely be the same thing.
So we're giving away over $900 in prizes from local businesses. And then all people have to do is share a photo of a marvelous mom, and then say in 300 words or less why they're marvelous. And then you get points for voting by either liking our page or liking the photo.
Okay, so you're like nominating somebody else. You send a picture of somebody who and why you think they're such a marvelous mom.
Exactly. So like Rick Gosser would send a photo of you and then say 300 words or less why Barbara is awesome. And then
very, very nice.
Everybody would then comment on Barbara's photo, and then if she had the most nominations, then you would get the prizes.
I would need more than 300 words, Tim.
I understand.
Oh, I hope that's a compliment.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
But we have a lot of moms on the call here today, so you guys should really get to know each other, because there's lots of fabulous marvelous moms right here in this group. So get to know each other. Thank you for sharing that, Tim. But
I saw a short video about somebody that ran a marathon. They were scheduled to run a marathon, but the marathon was canceled, and she ran it by herself. She had some police escorts for certain segments of it. But what surprised me is that even though we have all these restrictions about, social distancing and whatnot, there were spots on her path where people were grouped together to cheer her on and holding up the boards, to say, hey, great job. And they're together like groups of like 10 or 12 people, different spots along, and they showed it on the news. And I just thought it was odd that they canceled the marathon, but they could still have spectators gathering that were obviously closer than 6 feet apart from one another. And but still, I think it's awesome that she had that tenacity to go ahead and run the race that she'd been training for so long.
Yeah. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Dwight.
My mom is the best.
Your mom is amazing. That's KJ saying, Phyllis. KJ, you should nominate your mom. She has been phenomenal, hasn't she? Especially through this whole ordeal. You guys, those of you who don't know KJ's story, she was shot in the head, and the doctors basically told her mom, Phyllis, that she wasn't going to make it anymore. There was nothing they could do. She was basically going to be a vegetable. And Phyllis said, no, I'm not giving up on her. She's a fighter. She can make it. Keep doing what you can. And KJ pulled through, and that's a couple years. That was, I think, 5 years ago or so now. So Phyllis fought for her kid.
It was 4 years.
4 years. There you go. So that's a mom who fought for her kid when she couldn't fight for herself. That is marvelous.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on about the challenge then. And so you could do it online or offline. Now, the question about how long should a challenge be? Our challenge is 5 days, right? How long it should be based on what you want the outcome to be. So for instance, this 5-day challenge that we're doing is mostly to generate excitement within the group, get more people in the group, get people ready for what's to come after this, right? Remember when I told you guys I'm turning it into a weekly learning opportunity rather than daily now. It will still be a great opportunity. It just won't be quite as much of me. So I'm getting it prepped for what this will become. Now, I've participated in 7-day challenges, 10-day challenges, 30-day challenges. Some of the contests I've participated in was a blog writing contest, a video creating contest, image creating contest. And these were just like every day you were supposed to do a new type of image, right? Or a new type of video. Of course, I've done several Facebook Live videos. They're probably the most popular types of challenges right now is Facebook Live challenges. And it allows you to get outside of your comfort zone and be seen, you guys, because Facebook Live gets a lot of views, especially when you're posting it where other people can share it, and in a group like this where people are looking for videos and wanting to comment on them and stuff. So you guys, you'll get a lot of exposure through doing Facebook Lives, which is why I chose to do Facebook Live as my option. And like I said, the reason I chose 5 days is because we already did 30 days. I was like, I didn't want to give you guys more than just like 5 days. I've already got you like, you guys are probably like, man, I've had so much of Barbara this month that I think I'm becoming Barbara. But, so I chose the shortest amount I could think of. Now you technically could do a 2 or 3 day challenge, or even a 1-day challenge. I've never really participated in any of those, but they could exist. So if it makes sense for what you're working on, you can definitely do that. So let's talk about what the challenge will look like for next week, for Monday through Friday. Well, I already shared with you guys that the drawing will be on Friday or on Saturday for the winner of the $150 cash, but there will be some other prizes as well. And in order for you to win the $150, the only thing you must do is participate all 5 days. Okay, that will get you 5 entries into the random drawing. Now, there are ways to get more entries into the drawing so your odds are better. You can invite people. Everybody who you invite who joins, you get 10 entries into the random drawing. You can share this on your page, in your group, on any social media platform. Share the link to the group, right? Because that's where you're trying to get people to the group. And you get 5 points for every time you share it. So if you shared it on every one of your platforms, that's like 5, 5, 5, 5, right? And so those rack up, that's good. But you need to tag me if you post it. You've got to tag me. I'm on every social media platform there is. So if you can't find me to tag me, let me know. But it's either Barbara Carr or Fuse Empire. And so then the next thing is you can also earn points by, what was the other one? Oh, each time you do a video in the group, you get points for that. And then, so on Saturday, when it comes time to draw, if I draw a name that participated in all 5 days, that person wins the $150. And I know I'm like showing it like draw like this, like I'm actually going to use paper. It won't be. I will be doing it on live, on Facebook Live, on a random generator. It's called random.org. You basically just plug in how many spots there are. Everybody has a number by their name on. And so if your name's on there 10 times, you might be numbers 1 through 10, right? So I'll show the list so everybody sees their numbers, and then I will do the random thing, and it will pull a number. We'll look at who that is, that person. If they qualify, they win the $150. If they don't qualify because they didn't participate in all 5 days, then they will get a different prize. Okay, and we'll do that until we have a winner of the $150, because believe it or not, there's going to be some people who participate in days 1 and 2 and then they stop, or days 1, 2, and 3 and they stop, you know, so you got to participate all 5 days. Now, I will post the video at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it will be an automated video, so it will not be me live. You will get an example of what you need to do. I'm going to tell you guys who are on this call now what your topics will be, so you already can start planning them. Everybody who's not on this call will have to wait until Monday morning to hear what Monday morning's topic is, right? So since you guys are hearing this call, you guys are getting a little bit of, I mean, you can plan it out a little bit. And so what will happen is after I post the video of this is your assignment for the day, you have until midnight that day to submit it for it to count as that you did it. So you have almost the entire day. Okay. If you happen to have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Don't just not do it because you don't understand or because you're uncomfortable or whatever. If you need help, reach out to me. If I'm available, I'm always happy to help. I will tell you guys, I've been super busy this past couple of weeks, thanks to all of you guys who have been hiring me for a lot of things. But so I've been super busy. Obviously, I've got to work on, you know, as paid stuff is coming in, I've got to focus on that. But I'm very happy to help if I have the time. So if you need me, reach out to me. And I can at least send you a resource if I can't spend the time on the phone. So let's talk about the topics. You guys can feel free to grab a pen and paper. For some reason, my YouTube is like not like loading things forever. 2 of my videos took like 2 days to go. And then one got to 96% and then stopped completely, said it couldn't process. And then one got to 52% and didn't process. So I don't know that this video will be up before Monday. I'm going to try, but I can't guarantee it. So you guys feel free to take notes on these 5 days. All right, day 1 on Monday, your assignment will be to, oh, and in every single one of these videos, you guys, make sure you introduce who you are and your company name, right? It doesn't have to be right at the beginning. In fact, I always tell people you shouldn't introduce yourself right at the beginning. I know it feels like you're supposed to, but I always like to give something exciting or attention grabbing before I introduce myself. So I think I shared this with you on one of the past videos. If I'm doing my time management class, I might start off, is your to-do list longer than Santa's naughty or nice list? I'm Barbara Carr, right? And so it's best to start off with an attention grabber, but if you don't feel you're ready for that, that's okay. But make sure you say who you are. One of the worst things you could do in a video is not say who you are. And one of the other things I want to tell you guys, since this is live, you're doing Facebook Live, don't worry about the people who are watching it at the time that you're live. Get on there, say what you're saying, and then after you get off, you could go respond to people who responded. Because this is a 2 to 3 minute video. Don't spend 2 minutes of it saying hi to people. Okay, so don't worry about the people who are on there. It's okay to just say a general hi. Hi, everybody who's here. Thank you. Or if you're watching the replay, it's okay to give a quick general, but don't try to pay attention to everybody who's saying hi to you and jumping on. All right, so Monday's assignment is to tell us something about your business or industry that most people don't know. So something unique. Okay, so an example would be something I could say is that all of the social media platforms are just like Facebook. So if you're comfortable with Facebook, you technically can do all of the platforms, right? And in fact, that's something that surprises people. Like when I taught the LinkedIn class that John was at, I remember when I asked people why their hands went down when I talked about LinkedIn, and I said, well, why do you guys use Facebook and not LinkedIn? Some of the responses I got is because Facebook's easier, or I'm comfortable with Facebook, or I just don't know how to use LinkedIn. Those were the kind of responses. And so then I happily informed them that, well, LinkedIn is exactly the same as Facebook. It just looks different. So, but it is the same thing, right? Like you do all the same things, comment, share, like, whatever. So just some kind of thing that it doesn't have to be like a groundbreaking news, right? Just something that comes easy for you. You know it because you're an expert in this, but most people don't realize it, right? So think about that. And remember, keep your video to 2 to 3 minutes. So don't just jump on there, say something and get off and it's like 10 seconds and we're like, what just happened? Was there a video there? Try to make it at least 2 minutes and try not to go over 3 minutes. Okay. Day 2 on Tuesday, I want you to tell us an interesting story. Now it can be a funny story. It could be a story about your business, about your family. It could be about COVID, right? Something that happened during COVID. Something that really makes us listen. Okay. Now, those of us who don't think that we're very interesting. Believe it or not, I'm one of those people. I'm always like, I don't think I have anything interesting to say. Just do your best, okay? Do your best, because I know that I struggle. Especially somebody asked me the other day to tell them something funny that happened to me. And I was like, well, I don't know. Isaac's funny, so I always laugh, but I don't know anything really funny like that happened to me. So just do your best. And then day 3, I want you to take one of the concepts that you learned over this 30 days, something that was like a game changer for you, and I want you to teach it to your audience. I want you to tell your audience about this new thing. So it could be, you could tell them about, did you know that you could bold your text with 𝐏𝐂_text, right? Like here's this cool software or this cool website that you could go to and it can make your text bold. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. But I want you guys to teach somebody something, because the reason why is because when you teach it to someone else, you're more likely to remember it. Dwight, go ahead.
So the funniest thing that ever happened to you is you married Isaac?
Oh, babe. He heard you, Dwight.
It's okay, Isaac. We love you.
You know,
I have a teaser. You're
Can't
all
respond.
gonna learn
She can't
about
respond like the way she
buttering
wants to.
chairs in the airport.
Was that
All I'm
Phyllis?
saying.
What was that?
I said I have a teaser for Tuesday. You're all gonna hear about how I buttered chairs in the airport.
Oh, I cannot wait for that one. So,
I have a question about Wednesdays. If you're teaching it, are you sharing your screen to show them?
that's up to you, because here's what I recommend you guys do. I recommend that you do, if you are going to share your screen, to do it through Zoom, and then just choose the Facebook option. Don't go through the custom one to do restream. There's an option to just go live on Facebook. You could do that right through Zoom. So if you want to share your screen, then yes. But I think for this, you don't necessarily need to. I think you could just tell people the excitement of it, and then if they have questions on how to do it, you could direct them to this group. Okay, great questions. Okay, and then day 4, which is Thursday, you are going to choose somebody else out of this group that you've met that you think is fascinating, and you're going to talk about them. So if you don't think you've met anyone enough to talk about them yet, you have a couple of days to meet people. But you need to talk about somebody else. Tell how great they are. Tell us some wonderful things about them. You are talking somebody else up in this video.
That wouldn't be you, Barbara.
Aw, that's so sweet. I challenge you to try to do it somebody other than me, though. Somebody other than me. Because you'll get an opportunity to talk about how great I am. But there's a lot of great people in this group, so try to find somebody else who you met through this group. Okay?
we've all had 30 days to get to know Barbara. We want to get to know somebody else in the group.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm so excited to hear the different videos that you guys are going to come up with. So and make sure that, and actually I'll tell you some kind of etiquette after I tell you day 5. So day 5 is, I want you to give an overall review of this group, or me, or Fuse Marketing and Media. And I would like to be able to, with your permission, of course, use it as a testimonial. So day 5 would be the testimonial for Barbara or Fuse Marketing and Media, or this 30-day marketing ideas group, however you want to do it. But I would appreciate it very much if the video you record, that it is okay for me to use as a testimonial. And in fact, I'm just going to assume that it's okay unless you contact me directly and say, Barbara, I don't want you to use that. Okay, so fair warning there. If you leave me a video, I'm probably going to share it and tell people that you love me. Okay, unless it's a bad one, I won't share that one. If you talk bad about me, I'm not going to share that. Okay, so those are the 5 days. Does anyone have questions about the topics over those 5 days?
Who would say something bad about you?
Oh, thank you, KJ. Probably one of my teenagers. Dwight?
I don't have a question about the challenge per se, but what you just mentioned, I know that there are companies out there that you can hire to, I guess, eliminate bad publicity. So the industry that I'm in now, About, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I had a friend that he had hired me to do a job before I wrecked and totaled my Trailblazer. After
Okay.
I wrecked and totaled my Trailblazer, I took 6 weeks off of work altogether. And then once I went back to work, I wasn't able to go back to his job of finishing his entire basement for some time. That actually hurt his feelings tremendously as a friend because of how that all happened. And he bashed me pretty bad publicly on Facebook at that time. And I'm sure it's still on my page somewhere. You know, if you went back and looked, you could find it. Or if you were a friend of his, you could go back in Facebook and see it. You know, and if he shared that memory, somebody might notice it. Or if anybody commented on or liked any of those posts at that time, they can still resurface.
Right.
How would you go about controlling bad publicity? Do you have any information on that, or is there another group that we can pay attention to for that?
So, I mean, actually, believe it or not, I'm going to direct you to Isaac's a better response for this, and I'll tell you why. When Isaac and I were just friends, I'll give you just my situation with what he helped me with, and if you need more info, you should talk to him. But so we were just friends, and I had finally got, like, I don't know, somebody was mean to me. There was this grumpy old man who had he didn't even really know how to use the computer much, so I sat with him.
Rick?
What's that?
Hey.
He was hiring me to be a virtual assistant and to like get his, basically we were starting with social media stuff. He didn't have a website yet. We were going to build that after we did the social media stuff. And I did all this work for him and just like planned. But our agreement was that on the first of the month when his bill was due, that I would call him to schedule a meeting to be able to, sit down with him and show him what I did because he didn't know how to use the computer. Well, my best friend passed away that week. And so I didn't call him, and it went about 5 or 6 days past before, and I didn't call him. And but then at the time when I was like, I finally need to at least reach out to him, even though there's no way I could meet with someone right now, like my whole world shut down. And so I called him, I emailed him, I left him messages to explained it. He got mad because his invoice automatically came to him that said, hey, you owe next month's bill, and I didn't reach out to him, which I understand at first. Yeah, well, why would you invoice me if you don't reach out to me? But the invoice was automated, right? Me calling him was not automated. And because I didn't reach out right away, he got mad. He started like being mean to me. He put a bad review on BBB for me, even though I was trying to contact him, and he wouldn't answer my calls when I did finally try to. And then when I finally got a hold of him and I explained the situation, I said, I'm not trying to give you an excuse, but like my world is shut down. I'm not going to be able to work for a while right now. I don't want you to pay your invoice. I'm sorry that it came automatically. I did do everything that I was supposed to, and I would be happy to at least have a meeting to show you, but I can't do any more work right now, so I don't want you to pay it. And he just kept going on and on and on about things like, and so again, Isaac and I were just friends, and I talked to my group of friends about it. And Isaac had shared with me to not respond negatively, even though I was hurt, right? He said, it's okay to be honest. It's okay to say that this is what happened. Don't try to make it sound like an excuse, but don't like retaliate at him. Because like he was calling me names. Like a scam artist and all kinds of things like that. It hurt me bad. And Isaac gave me good advice to publicly respond in a way that still was respectful, but didn't let him make me look bad or whatever. And so I responded that way to the BBB request, and they removed it. The BBB removed the negative review. Isaac he's volunteering to jump on for this real fast. Yeah, babe. So the question is, how do you prevent things like that? Or not necessarily prevent, but if something like that happened, how do you prevent it from resurfacing?
Most certainly. All right. So, hey guys. Yeah, we've had this come up with clients as well as our own law firm. So there was times where we end up getting a bad review. Somebody just wasn't happy with our services. Sometimes, surprisingly in the legal field, not everything's always kosher. Crazy. Some contentious situations. I know, surprising. But so how do we deal with that? Well, I have a few rules of engagement. One, as quickly as possible, you take it offline. Don't fight with them online. That's not the way to do that. If somebody's responding to them, don't tack them and then carry on this whole lengthy. Private message me, right? Email me. Do something to take it offline. It shows that you are still responding. In that response, Barbara hit on a few of them. Don't dive into the mud with them. Always stay at the higher level, because your audience is not that person. That person doesn't like you. There's not a whole lot you can do at that point. Maybe there is some follow-up you can do later on, but right now, that person's mad. They're not going to hear you. Your audience is the future people who are looking at that review. And whether it's on Facebook or Google or wherever that is, you're talking to somebody in the future who's going to look back at the review and say, what happened with this bad review? And then they're going to see your response, and that's what they're going to judge you on. So don't be negative. Don't attack them. Don't respond back to the substance of what they're saying beyond what you need to. Keep it very simple. Here, I understand what you're saying. I'm sorry that you feel that way, right? You can, and I have done this. I think we have 2 negative reviews on ours. The first one, it was very simple. I'm sorry you feel that way. Why don't you private message us or email us or something? I took it offline. The second one was a little bit more of an attack to our character. So we did respond on some stance to say we stand by our attorney and the actions that they took. So it's saying, look, we understand that you feel that way and we're sorry that you feel that way. However, we do believe in the moral integrity of our attorneys. If you'd like to talk about this further, email us or whatever, take it offline. When you're talking about whether or not you can get that post removed, whole new ballgame. Yeah. Specifically, that must be for Facebook or Google to even consider taking it down. It must be actually defamatory. And by defamatory, I mean you need to go to court and get a court to say, yes, this is something that was public, that was wrong, false, was not true, and it was actually injurious to your business. You need to show that, hey, this was not true, and so what they're saying is hurting my business. And in doing so, you can take that court order and you can submit that to Google or Facebook, and they'll consider taking that down. Now, the BBB is a little bit different. BBB, you got to respond. Mm-hmm. For the BBB specifically, their main thing is, are you responding or not? And if you are responding, that gives you the positivity saying, yes, you're an active business that cares what your people think. They give you positivity just for responding. But Facebook and Google, like I said, they're not likely to take it down or to mess with your stars unless specifically that you have that court order, then they'll consider it. The final thing that I'll say here is that having a bad review is not the worst thing in the world. Right. People actually find you more credible if you have a 4.8, 4.9 star rating, because they think it's more believable. If they just see like 3 people with 5 stars, at that point, then they're like, all right, that's that somebody's friends just jumped on and gave them these 5 stars. But when they see a 4.8, 4.9, they're like, oh, this is a legitimate business. And so what I did when we got our first bad review, I specifically went to all my clients and I said, hey, look, we got this bad review. We don't think it's true, but if you thought we did great, and now you should be doing this after every single one of your closes. We just weren't in that habit at that time. So I went back and did this, and we filled up with reviews. And we ended with that 4.8 and 4.9. And I have gotten clients because they believed in us because they saw all those Google reviews, but they had that 4.8, 4.9, so they knew it was real. That all those things are not just fake on there. So it actually has provided somewhat of a benefit at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So that's the last thing I'll say there, but you should have them, you should be asking for these Facebook and Google reviews after every close, after every time that you get a benefit to somebody. It's good to ask for that.
Yeah. Thank you, babe.
You got it.
So that was a little bonus, you guys. And so what ended up happening with the BBB thing is I had to, I showed everything to prove that I did the work because this guy was asking for a refund and stuff. And I was like, at first I was on the verge of giving him a refund just to make him leave me alone. I was like so hurt by it. It was the very first time somebody ever didn't love me, right? Like I was just like, what the heck? And, but it was Isaac who said, don't give him a refund. You didn't do anything wrong. Like you did the work. And so finally I got strong and I showed to the BBB everything I did. I sent my stuff and they took it down. So, but yeah, so I guess just, yeah, don't think it's the end of the world if you get a bad review. I know that as my business gets bigger, I'm going to get more bad reviews. It's just part of the world, right? That was actually after Rick made me cry. That was a lot of people made me cry in my day. I am stronger now. It's really hard to make me cry today. I've gotten stronger. Thank you, Rick.
Show me a Disney movie and I'm crying.
So now when you guys are recording your live videos, I just want to give you a few tips. Try to make sure that there's not a lot of loud noise in the background, right? It doesn't have to be perfectly quiet, especially since everyone's home during Corona right now, but don't do it while there's a train going down the tracks, right? Like, the trains are still running, aren't they? I think they are, I don't know. And then make sure your lighting is good. So, you don't want your light source to be behind you because that typically makes it dark in front of you. And what else? Try to get to the point as quickly as you can. It's okay that if it makes you feel more comfortable to say, I'm doing this video because Barbara's making me again. That's okay. Because sometimes people are worried about what their audience is going to think. Like, why they're going to wonder why I jumped on and just talked about this. Blame it on me, you guys. I love when people blame things on me. In fact, Phyllis she's so funny when she does it. She's like, I tried telling Barbara no, but wants me to make this video.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell me how angry I'm making you.
And if I don't do it, she'll just stalk me and trick me into doing one.
Exactly. So it's for your own good. All right. So when you guys are doing this, try to keep it to 2 to 3 minutes. If it's a little shorter or a little longer than that, I'm not going to kick you out of the group, but do your best to keep it to 2 to 3 minutes. And it is still okay to invite people. Just keep in mind that anybody who you invite after Monday won't get the chance to win the $150 because they won't have been able to participate all 5 days, but they could win some of the other prizes. So it is still okay to invite people, and we'll run the contest all the way until Saturday. So you guys can keep sharing the group all the way until then, until Friday. I'm cutting it off on Friday. The drawing is on Saturday. So Friday at midnight is when I cut off the points. And then, and I'll do it live for you guys. I'll probably have my little helper, Haley, helping me. She's my 9-year-old. She's the cutest thing ever. And so, but yeah, I think I gave you guys everything you need to be successful. You guys are the first ones who have the topics. So you guys should have an advantage over everybody else because you could kind of think about what you want to talk about. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns before we go? Dwight.
Could I increase the amount of views that my Facebook Live videos will get by laying down some foundation work ahead of time, like maybe just a couple of posts this week with like a color background and some of the cool emojis or something to say, hey, next week I'm going to be doing some Facebook Live videos informing you about this group, and then share the group link there. Yes. Because I've enjoyed what I've received or something like that.
You sure could. And actually, you guys, even though you have until midnight to do it, if you choose a consistent time for you each day, it will help your viewers know when to look for your live. So Dwight, you might say every day at noon, I'm going live and these are the topics or something like that. And, or you don't even have to tell them the topics. Sometimes people just get excited. Oh, somebody's going live. And then, so it could be a surprise, or you could tell them, but you don't have to do it consistently the same time, but it would help your audience if you choose a time and let them know when it will be. All right, anything else? I smell that lunch is about ready. I have the most wonderful husband. He even makes food. Well, he has to force me.
Free.
I know. Well, we've been working early and late. Like we are sleeping like 5 hours a night right now because we're both so busy. Well, he wanted to go to sleep early last night, but I had work to do, and he was sweet and stayed up with me. But yes. All right.
This is just on our regular Facebook page.
No, actually, I'm glad you asked that, Marie. You want to go live in the group so that I can see it because I can't look on everybody's pages. You want to go live in the group. The good news is your friends will still see it because the group is public. So your friends will see your lives.
Okay. I thought so, but then I wasn't sure. Okay. It's good.
Thank you for asking that. That was the one thing I did forget. I think it was the one and only thing, but who knows? All right. Anything else, guys? That's it? All right. I am so excited to see your videos, you guys. If you need anything, let me know, but start inviting people so that other people have the chance to win prizes.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
All right.